This week, I go on a big boat, marvel at the elaborate way they change light bulbs in Mexico, and dress like a penguin as we take our first ever trip on a cruise. Welcome to Galveston in Texas, where there isn't an airport, or well, there is an airport, but we're not going on a plane today, because we're going on a big boat. I don't do boats. Let's see how this goes. Now, none of us have ever been on a cruise in our lives, so we have absolutely no idea what to expect. The first surprise was the scale of Royal Caribbean's cruise terminal at Galveston. It's just like an airport. Before we got inside though, a member of staff took our luggage offers. They take it at the curbside and it gets delivered to your room later in the day. Yeah, does that need its own tag? Pretty soon though we were good to go and we entered the massive terminal building in Galveston.
We're going on a cruise with the water slide.
Once you get upstairs, it's quite straightforward. There's a bit of a passport check and then you're sent to get on board the boat. Once that was done, you're supposed to wait for your boarding time to be called, but in the end they just waved us straight onto the ship, which was pretty cool. All aboard! You excited?
Yep, all aboard the cruise line of water slides. That's all there is to this boat, Dad. It's just made of water slides.
I've heard you go down a water slide to get your breakfast. And you go down another one to go back up to your room.
How?
With a Big Mac in your hand, your McMuffin.
What, you just like upside down?
Oh, that's it. It's like the advert that used to be on TV where the guy goes home from work down a massive water slide. Hi there. So we've got 4.
Who's Noel?
That's me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome in, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome in.
Alright, time to get on board the boat. Sam, you excited?
Yep.
6 days on a boat. A big one.
In the Gulf of Mexico.
In the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep.
Let's go. Right, so we're all on board the ship. Yay! You excited?
Yeah, I am actually.
It's worth pointing out that none of us have ever been on a boat like this before. Neither of us particularly do boats, do we?
No, I might be, I might not
You're
be
not
very
gonna
well.
It's going to be smooth. Like you can't even feel when we're only at the harbour thing now, aren't we? But
The harbour thing.
Yeah, but it's not even moving at the minute. It's
Sorry,
just,
I'm getting distracted with the dolphins.
There's dolphins outside. We're literally in Galveston Port, and there's dolphins jumping around the boat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've come here because we can't get into the rooms for another couple of hours yet. So we've come to this buffet thing, and we're going to have some lunch, and then wait here a bit and chill out, and then I think the boat doesn't go for another few hours, but we're sort of all on board waiting to just enjoy ourselves, aren't we, and have a nice time.
Yep, absolutely.
So I know this is your first time on a cruise. It's my first time on a cruise, but you've been quite nervous, haven't you? What are your first thoughts?
This place is enormous.
It's big, isn't it? It's bigger than I thought.
Yeah. I just hope the scooter battery is going to last. I mean, it only does 10 miles. We could probably do that going around the
One
ship.
lap of the ship would do 10 miles. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I mean, so far it feels smooth, but obviously we're still in the harbour, so we've just got to wait and see. But I'm trying to stay open-minded so that I don't prejudice my experience. But I'm excited to give it a try, and then we'll know either we like it or we don't.
Exactly. We'll give it a go. It's only a short
Say
one.
hi, Say hi to the camera.
Let's see the camera.
So see backers. You lived in America too long, haven't you? Alright, it's 1:30, it's time to head down to our room, so we're going to go down and have a look at what the room's like.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, there's just a lot of people everywhere.
It's very busy. Alright, it's time to head to our room. Excited?
Yeah.
We're on deck 8.
Can I get the key cards, please? Oh wait, 8-3. Oh, that's 27.
Man, that's like people.
Right, Sam, go.
Right, so we've got 2 rooms. This is our first room, and then we've got the one next door as well. We've got a balcony out there. We'll have a little bit of a room tour in a bit, won't we?
Yes.
So while we're at the dock in Galveston, and before things get too bouncy on the open ocean, let's have a quick walk around the Voyager of the Seas.
This is owned by Royal Caribbean, and it's taking us on a 5-day cruise. We're going down the Western Caribbean all the way down the coast of Mexico. We're going to wind up in Cozumel and somewhere else on the coast of Mexico as well. Not entirely sure where. I can't remember what it was, but we're going somewhere in Mexico anyway on this trip. They've just moved the dock thing, the jet bridge things, back from the boat. It looks like we shouldn't be getting underway soon. We've been on board a little bit now, and you sort of board it first, and then once you're on board, everyone's on board for a little bit, for a few hours, and eventually we push back from the dock and go. I think it's going to be about another hour before we actually leave. This is the Royal Caribbean terminal, by the way, here in Galveston, Texas. It's massive. I didn't know that boats had terminals like that. I thought you just sort of went up on a gangplank or something, but no, you've got an actual terminal building and everything, just like an airport. So this is deck number 13 that we're on at the minute. There is a running track all the way around this deck, so if you wanted to run you could do, but we get a good view from here out over the pool deck, which is down underneath us, and you can see there's swimming pools and everything there. At the back of the ship over there, there's like water slides and stuff, so we'll go and check those out and stuff. There's bars up here and everything. So much to do. It does not feel like you're on a ship at all. This is crazy. I mean, just look how far down this is. You can look all the way down there, that's crazy. This is also on deck 13, there's like a spa section here. I might send Rachel here later. So deck 13, there's a basketball court just here. There's like a water park and everything up here too, so the kids are going to love this. Look at these flumes here, look. These water slides for the kids to go down in a bit. And they go right off the edge of the ship as well. I'm not sure I'm entirely comfortable with that. I'd like to try and stay on the ship, but they're pretty cool, aren't they? They go right up there, you can slide all the way down. Wicked. So we've got crazy golf up here as well. You can do crazy golf. There's like a surfing thing here that you can do. How cool is that? And then you've got the water park just over there, so you can go down the water slides and stuff too. It's so cool. This is on a boat, what the heck?
Also on this deck is a rock climbing wall, and it's not for the faint of heart because it goes right up the ship's chimney. Imagine climbing up that thing in a really bad storm in the open ocean. I don't think so.
Okay, so this is deck 11, there's the Windjammer buffet there. That's where we went and had some lunch earlier on while we were waiting. And it's open for dinner as well, I think, but that's not where our reservation's kind of somewhere else. Okay, so this is deck 8, this is where our room is, but from here we get a great view down over the centre of the ship. And there's like all shops and restaurants and stuff down there, so we're going to go and have a wander around there as well. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? This is the main dining room. This is where we have to come later for our dinner, but it also gives us access to all the shops on the main promenade, so let's go have a look what we've got here.
The promenade's got loads of shops and restaurants, and it seems to be the busiest part of the ship. It really doesn't feel like you're on a boat at all though, this place is just immense. At the other end of the promenade is the Royal Theatre and the casino, as well as this place here, Studio B.
So this is Studio B, and this is where they do ice skating and stuff. So this is Studio B, this is where they do ice skating, so the kids can come ice skating, we can go ice skating, but they do like shows and stuff here as well, and all the displays, so actual ice skating rink on a boat. Crazy. And this boat is absolutely massive. I've never seen anything like it. The biggest boat I've been on is a cross-channel ferry from Dover to Cali. This thing is just immense, and it just doesn't feel like you're on the water. It's like you're in a hotel, like in a massive like Las Vegas casino hotel or something like that. It's absolutely insane.
So with the big boat tour done, it's time to have a look around the room.
Alright, so I've managed to get back to the room. I'm sharing with Sam. Say hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
I knew you were going to say that. And Rachel's next door, she's sharing with Anna, because we don't feel like leaving the kids alone in their room together. But they have only given us double beds, so we're waiting for them to come and swap the beds, or at least separate them into 2 singles. But this is our bedroom. This is a ocean view room, spacious open view room it's called. We've got a little sofa there. The Sam is optional, it doesn't come with it. Telephone, little unit there. We've got the bed, and that's actually splits into 2 separate beds. And then out of here, a balcony. So we can come out here and see the sea and the wonderful views of Galveston, Texas. Are we moving yet? No, we're not moving yet. But that's our little balcony area just here, which is quite nice. It'd be nice to sit and have a coffee there in the morning, I think. So over here we've got a TV. Sam's watching the live view from the bridge at the minute. There's a helipad on the front, look, Sam. Yeah. We've got like a safe and things in here. Little storage cupboard. There's a mini bar, but it's empty, I think. Sam, you've emptied the mini bar, mate. That's no good, dude. You've emptied the mini bar. We haven't even left port yet. Who would do that? We've got like power outlets and stuff here. Okay, controller for the temperature here to make it cooler and warmer. And we've got some more. What's in here? Just a big closet. Life rafts and things in there. And the bathroom. And it's a bit like a caravan toilet. We've got a shower here with like a clothes drying rack and things above it. There's a toilet, a sink, a couple of glasses there. And that's it. It's quite nice, quite smart really, quite a smart room, and I'm loving the fact that we've got that balcony, which is quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. Off the side of the ship, so we can sit and have a morning coffee and read the newspaper like you do when you're riding on a posh boat like this. We'll be like, what was that film about the boat? Titanic. It'll be like the Titanic. Sat there with our monocles reading our newspapers. Anyway, we're going to be pushing back from the gate soon to get on our way for our ride to...
You said pushing back from the gate.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the thing on the boat that's...
You were drunk last time, so you couldn't remember what it's called.
That's very true, Sam. Last time I rode on a boat, I had a few drinks, but I've not had any drinks today because they're $15 each, and I'm not paying that.
As we waited at the dock, the Carnival boat sailed past, and it seemed a little bit more lively than the one that we were on. But pretty soon it was our turn to go, and we pushed back from the dock, span around and got on our way out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, we're moving, Sam. Sam, look up from your phone.
Yeah, I know.
We're moving. We're underway. We're underway from Galveston to Mexico today.
And with the musical interlude over, we got on our way out of Galveston port. Not long after we sailed off, it was time to head down for dinner, and we'd opted to book a table at the main dining restaurant, which was actually pretty fancy.
Alright, it's dinner time on night one. Anna's like, I'm too busy eating my fruit. Are you enjoying it so far, Rach?
Yeah, when we left port I could definitely feel it, but it's not that bad. I just kind of feel like I'm a bit drunk and I've not had any alcohol.
No, every now and then it just rumbles a bit, doesn't it? And it's like when you work in one of them cheap office buildings and somebody walks across the floor and you feel the floor bounce.
That's like in my school, like on the second floor.
Yeah,
people walk past
exactly, and you feel
shakes.
that. Anyway, they have like theme nights here, and it's white night tonight, like the washing machine. So we're all dressed as washing machines.
I'm wearing white. Anna's wearing purple. You're wearing green.
White.
And Sam's just in cash.
Wearing what Sam's wants. But we don't care. Anything goes. So we're going to enjoy our dinner on the first night.
Yeah.
And you come into this like main dining place.
Yes.
Which is where we are. So we've got a reservation every night. This table every night is ours.
Yes.
At 5:30. So we're going to have our dinner.
I think your sister's been
and see what it's like.
The next morning, we woke up in the middle of the ocean.
Good morning, it is day 2 on board the Voyager of the Seas. A beautiful day out here in the middle, somewhere in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. We all slept pretty good. Rach is struggling a little bit. It's pretty calm. For me, I can barely feel the boat moving, which is crazy. It feels just like we were gliding, even though the waves are quite big down there. But Rach is struggling a little bit. I think her sense of balance is a little bit different to mine because she's been feeling a little bit queasy, so she's had to go back to bed for now, unfortunately. But fingers crossed she'll be all right this afternoon, because I've got a spa session booked for her this afternoon, so that's going to be good. We are going to go off, me and the kids, we're going to go off to have some fun this afternoon. They've been on the water slides all morning, which has been pretty cool, and now we're going to go and watch the international belly flop competition. I'm not going to be taking part because I have no desire to end up injured for the rest of the holiday, but we're going to go and watch that now. and just have a bit of fun this afternoon. We've got a day at sea all day today, so we'll see what we can get up to.
I have to admit the belly flop competition was pretty entertaining as we watched several slightly overweight Americans throw themselves into a swimming pool. Once the entertainment was over, we headed down to Studio B to take the kids ice skating.
Excited to be ice skating?
Yes.
Yes, what? Yes.
Queen.
Yes, Queen. Excited for ice skating, Sam?
No.
Are you going to fall on your bum?
Yes. I will.
This will be recording all the time.
Yes. Okay.
The Voyager of the Seas was the first ship in the world to feature an ice skating rink. Aside from skating, they do ice skating shows as well. We did go and watch one, but sadly filming is not allowed at those, so the most graceful displays we could film were the kids.
Alright then, so dinner tonight is formal night, which means we have to wear silly outfits.
Yay.
I haven't worn a suit since my last job interview, Sam. That was a long time ago. But you're looking good though.
Yeah.
Let's go and see what the ladies look like. Hello. Oh, hello.
Miss Dad.
Hello.
Miss Dad.
How are you?
I'm okay.
How are you, Anna? How are you,
I
AJ?
need this before I
Are you
Looking
taking?
good.
Are you taking your cups so that we can get some more juice on the way back?
Good idea.
Yeah, bring your cups.
Can you cook, Sam?
Formal nights when everyone gets to dress up in their best. To mark the occasion, I decided to start my dinner with something I've never tried before, escargots, or snails.
Anna's eating snails for the first time ever, as will I in a minute, but let's see what Anna thinks. Come on, Anna. What's it taste of?
Snails.
Have you ever eaten a snail before? How do you know what it tastes like? It's what you imagine they taste like.
Try some.
No, you can't pick them out of the garden and eat them.
So go on then, Noel. Tell us what the snails are like.
They don't taste slimy, do they? They taste like mushrooms almost. Quite nice. Ooh, they're lovely. Try one, mate. Okay.
The next morning, we woke up, and it appeared land was ahoy.
Well, good morning. Today is day 3 and it's an exciting day today because today we arrive into Mexico and we can actually see Mexico over on the horizon there. We've been cruising down the coast all night. We made landfall just near to Cancun at about 2 o'clock this morning, and I know that because I got a load of phone messages saying that we'd arrived in Mexico, and I was getting all my text messages through. We must have been close enough to start getting internet data because we've been disconnected since we left Galveston. You can buy Wi-Fi on the ship, but it's ridiculously expensive, so I'm using this as an opportunity to actually disconnect for a few days, which is amazing. But we did obviously get a phone signal at some point because I got loads of messages come through, but now we don't again. But we're off the coast, about 10 miles off the coast of Mexico at the minute. We're due to be arriving soon into Costa Maya in Mexico, which is sort of down the coast from Cancun. It's sort of down that way a bit. But we can see Mexico over there, and very soon we'll be landing into the port in Costa Maya. Alright, then we're about to arrive in Puerto de Mayo. Mayo.
Puerto de Mayo.
There's a pilot boat just down there. The man's just got off the boat and he's driving this one into port. We should be arriving in the Costa Maya very soon, and we've got internet! Yay!
Admittedly, it didn't look like there was a lot here at Costa Maya, just a jetty to let us get on and off. But thankfully they planted these helpful sombreros in the harbour, so we knew we'd arrived in Mexico.
Alright, welcome to Mexico! Costa Maya. We're going to go and do some shopping in the port. Everyone on the ship's buggered off to go and do some excursions. We're going to have a quick walk around the port, have a bite to eat, and then come back to the boat because it's nice and quiet because everybody's got off. So that's our plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
The port at Costa Maya is essentially a tourist trap in the middle of the jungle. There's a bit of a shopping centre selling knock-off jewellery at rip-off prices and lots of, quote, authentic Mexican experiences to part you with your money. I did admire the ingenuity of these guys who managed to turn changing a light bulb into a theatrical event. After spending $15 on a bottle of Axe in the Pharmacia, we decided to head back to the boat for some peace and quiet. We headed to the deserted pool deck for the afternoon showing of Top Gun Maverick, which was pretty cool. As the sun started to set, we pushed back to get on our way to the next stop in our route that we'd reach by morning.
Here we go, saying bye-bye to Costa Maya. I wish I was a Costa Maya wiener.
One thing I did enjoy was the camaraderie between the cruise ships. Every time a ship set sail from a dock, the passengers on both boats all waved and shouted at each other, which was pretty cool and quite funny. We went to bed, and when we woke up, we were just pulling into the port at Cozumel.
Good morning from Cozumel in Mexico. We arrived in here about 6 o'clock this morning, just as we were waking up. We felt a bit of a shudder, and we were pulling onto the dock here in Cozumel, Mexico, where we are now for the whole day. There's all sorts of bars and things down there. There's a Margaritaville, Tequila, a Go-Go. I get the impression that this is somewhere you come when you want to have a bit of party time. We're actually going to stay on the boat, I think, today, because while everyone's off exploring Cozumel, we're going to stay here on the boat and have it to ourselves again, because that seemed to work quite well yesterday. They're doing some sort of drill at the minute as well, which is a bit unnerving. They've just called like Bravo codes and things, and effectively the captain came on and said they're doing some sort of emergency drill for the crew, so interesting to listen to the announcements and stuff that they're making for that. It's the abandoned ship emergency warning. It's people abandoning ship down there, so they can go and abandon the ship into Margaritaville. At least we're conveniently located for bars, I suppose, if anything did happen.
And so, as first-time cruisers ourselves, and with most of the boat off spending their money in Cozumel, it's time for a new segment that I call Noel's Tips for Intrepid Trainee Sailors.
Tip number 1. This boat is absolutely lovely, but it is also really, really busy. There's over 3,000 people on this boat at any given time, except for days like today. You see, today is a port day. We're here in Cozumel, Mexico, and most people on the boat have gone off to explore the bars and restaurants of Cozumel, have a few tequilas and sit on the beach. So one of the biggest tricks that we've learnt since we've been on board this ship is to use the days where people are out doing the shore excursions, or the days where we're docked into a port, to stay on the ship, because you pretty much get the ship to yourselves, which means that all of a sudden there's not 3,000 people on this boat all fighting for the same sunbeds. There's like a few hundred at most. Everybody else is off there getting drunk in Margaritaville while we're on the boat enjoying a relaxing day in the Mexican sunshine.
Tip number 2, there are many options to eat on the ship, and most of them are included in your fare, so make sure you enjoy different dining options to figure out which one you like the most. You can come here to the Windjammer, which is the buffet that they've got going on.
Buffet.
The Jimmy Buffet.
Buffet.
The Jimmy Buffet that we've got going on here upstairs.
Yes, it's very nice.
It's at the back of the boat. It's usually absolutely cram-packed full.
Yes.
So it's like a meat market. They're open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. We tend to avoid it for dinner if we can, because it's absolutely rammed. But they do have a really cool selection of food when you eventually get to it through all the queues. But today it's a port day, so everybody is off the boat and it's nice and quiet.
Yes, it is.
We could come here, which has been, I think, our favourite place since we've been here, actually.
It absolutely has. Stunning food, fabulous wait staff, and just a really good atmosphere. You can see everyone getting dressed up and joining in.
You can. This is the main dining that they have. It's on 3 floors here, across 3 floors here on the Voyager. And you have to have a reservation, which you do on the first night when you get here. You get the same table every night, the same staff, same time, everything. And we've got this table every night. We're getting to know the wait staff really well. They're all amazing, aren't they? Really good.
They are. They're so friendly and helpful.
And we get a different menu every night. Tonight it's a taste of Mexico. Dinner menu changes every night. They do breakfast and lunch here as well if you really want it, but we've just been having dinner here every night. We had breakfast here once. The menu wasn't quite as extensive as on the buffet for breakfast, but it was nice to fight everybody and being able to actually sit down at a table and get table service, wasn't it?
It was, but it wasn't the same experience as being able to try different things and having that freedom.
Right, exactly. But it's nice though, and everybody gets dressed up, and it's really, really, really nice. We like this place. This is the Promenade Cafe on the Promenade deck, where they do like pizza and sandwiches and stuff. It's like a little cafe.
I'm not going to rush to come back. Usually they're queuing out the door, and I wanted to know why. And today, with it being a port day and it's relatively quiet, I still don't quite understand why they're usually queuing out the door.
It's not brilliant. I prefer the buffet, I have to say, even though it's busy.
Tip number 3, plan your drinks packages properly.
When it comes to drinks on board, you've got a few different options. We've gone for a drinks package. We weren't actually going to do that, were we?
We weren't.
Originally, because it's so ridiculously expensive, but then you realise the drinks on board are even more ridiculously expensive. We've gone for a soda package, so we basically get unlimited soda, Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke, you name it, you get it throughout the day. They do an alcohol package, which didn't seem worth it to us because it's like $100 each per day. And
we don't drink anywhere near them.
Well, you'd have to drink like 10 drinks a day minimum to make that worthwhile, because they're like
I'd be permanently pickled.
I would as well. They're like $10, $15 a drink. So unless you're drinking 10 drinks a day, the alcohol one we've not really found worthwhile. But this is
You can also do a
worthwhile.
water package.
You can. That's a bit of a swizz as well.
It
That's
is.
really
You know,
expensive.
if we'd have thought about it, we could have brought so many bottles of water or soda or things like that on board with us, and that probably would have helped. So top tip. Actually read through the pack that they send you and check out what you can and can't bring.
Yes, and bring what you can, because you are going to get ripped off when you're on board this boat.
One thing that was free of charge though was the entertainment of watching the pier runners leg it to the ship as the ship was about to leave. And after a day of drinking tequilas in Margaritaville, well, today there were many.
There we go, running. Yay!
Eventually, about 30 minutes late, everyone was on board and we pushed off to say goodbye to Mexico. The following morning, we woke up to some stormy seas.
Well, good morning. It's now day 5, I think. It's Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, we are halfway across the Gulf of Mexico, and the weather has closed in today. We've got a sea day today, which means we're at sea the entire day. There's no port stops. We are in the middle of a thunderstorm that's really brewing out here at sea. There's a hurricane on its way in, apparently coming across Mexico. We are, after all, in October right now, which is at the tail end of the hurricane season. And you can see it's pretty choppy out there, but even though the seas have massive waves, and it's windy and rainy, and there's thunder and lightning and everything going on, you barely feel it on this ship. It's crazy. My only experience of boats, big boats like this, is going across the channel on like cross-channel ferries and things where you feel all the bumps. This is just ridiculously smooth. We're just ploughing on through. Looking at the weather outside, it's crazy. I never thought it would be this smooth. You do feel it a little bit from time to time, and every now and then it feels like you're going through some turbulence on a plane. It's just like a bum, 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 bum. But it's surprisingly smooth. We've got sort of 8 to 12 foot waves, I think they said, outside today, and we're just cruising on through.
As the day went on though, the weather got worse, so we made our way down to the lowest point of the ship, which just so happened to contain a bar.
Alright, then it's our last night of the cruise.
Homeward bound.
Homeward bound, our first ever cruise. Oh, that's nice actually. First actual alcoholic drink we've had since we've been on board, because we don't want to pay the prices. But anyway, it's the last night of our first ever cruise. What did you think?
There's definitely been some high points and some low points.
What's your favourite thing about the cruise?
The fact that we've been able to spend time together.
Yeah, that's been nice, hasn't it?
Detoxing from gadgets.
Yeah, that's been good.
For the most part.
For the most part. What's been your least favourite thing then?
The waves.
Okay.
And the prices, because, you're a captive audience.
True. So what thing has surprised you the most about cruises?
That the kids, to the most part, have been able to handle it. That there have been areas that you can go to get peace and quiet if they wanted to. You know, they're relatively safe as long as they stay away from the sides.
Yeah, that's true.
What you enjoyed?
I think my favourite thing about the cruise has been just being able to unwind and not having any connectivity. That's been really nice, just to be able to just sit and chill and just
And your low
relax.
point?
I think the least favourite point is the people and the crowds, because you're sort of all in one place with thousands of other people.
Yep.
Queuing up for everything, pushing you out of the way. It's a little bit intense. But there've been places we can go that's quiet to get away from all that as well.
Yeah. So what's been the thing that surprised you?
I think for me the thing that surprised me the most is how smooth this boat has been for the most
it's
part.
not.
I mean, it's okay. We're on rough seas at the minute.
We've been on
But-
rough seas for good chunks of it, and
No, but for the
you've
most
been
part,
sat there going,
you've
"Oh,
been-
it's dead smooth, right?"
It is,
No, it's
because,
not.
Like for me, I'm used to cross-channel ferries,
I don't
and they just like
care.
bounce up and down, and like this is.
I've spent
really
days
nice.
feeling ill.
I don't know. I think it's not been too bad for me. Okay. The surprising thing is that I've coped with it better than I thought I would, because I didn't think I'd cope with it. All right, so dude, what's been your favourite thing about the cruise?
Spending time with the family and the buffet food.
And the buffet food. What's been your favourite thing at the buffet?
Probably the burgers.
The burgers. They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
What's been your least favourite thing about the cruise?
Probably the amount of people there are.
There's been a lot of people, hasn't there?
Yeah.
And what surprised you?
How nice the cruise is and how big the ship is.
There's a lot to do, isn't there?
There's a lot of activities to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And would you go on another cruise?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. All right then, time for bed on our last night. It's really, really bad now, this weather. You know, I said earlier it was quite smooth. It was. It's not anymore. Even the crew are struggling tonight now. We've got gale force winds out here. The sea's getting really, really, really heavy. Look at that. Wow. It's going to be a fun night as we skirt the edges of Hurricane Lydia, as it is, up to Galveston by the morning. Hopefully we'll wake up in the morning and we'll be back in Galveston. Hopefully we'll get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning. We have arrived back into Galveston and woken up by a load of beeping outside, and we are here at the port. It's 6:30 in the morning on the last day, and there's a hive of activity outside of this Royal Caribbean terminal here, so I think soon we should be getting off the boat. So let's go and try and figure out how they get 3,000 passengers off a boat through those two little jet bridge things that you can see up there.
While we waited to get off the ship, I was amazed watching them load all the supplies on for the next cruise. There were literally truckloads of provisions lined up to load onto the ship. But soon it was our time to disembark, and because we chose to keep our bags overnight, we didn't have to wait for a slot to get off the boat. We did, however, have to join a massive queue of over 3,000 people to wind our way around the boat and off the ship. Now, there isn't really passport control as such when you get off the boat, it's all done based on your photo.
Sweetheart. Yeah, so look up here, darling. There we go.
American citizens don't need to take a passport with them at all when the cruise starts and ends at the same place, but because we're British we had to take them, and it was all recorded as a re-entry into the country.
Thank you.
Good morning, welcome back.
Morning. Way to the beach.
Through this one looks sunny.
We're on land.
There we go, we're back out.
Are you Brad Paisley?
I wish I had his money anyway. All right then, welcome back to Galveston, Texas. Our first cruise ever is complete. Let me know what you thought to this video down in the comments below. Hopefully it's been useful to you. If you've not been on a cruise before, hopefully it's been quite helpful. If you have been on a cruise before, well, let us know down in the comments what you thought to it and whether you'd do it again. For me, I'm not sure. I think we'll do one again at some point. I'm not entirely sure when. Let's just focus on getting home first. We've got about an hour and a half drive across Houston back home. Thanks ever so much for watching. As always, take care. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.